Event. My name is Anna Mari and I am your host today. So as usual, really, we are leveling up today, guys. So we ran a session on the 20th of August called Facebook Marketing 101, and there was such a demand for a 102 that we popped it in here. So here we are, Facebook Marketing 102 with Stealth Digital. Newman is here and we're going to level up. Now, you might be streaming with us on Facebook or on YouTube or LinkedIn. And if you've got questions for Newman, you can pop them in the comment section or the chat features. I'll be monitoring those throughout this session, so feel free to get your questions in there. Now, if you're with us on Zoom, you can use the chat function or the Q&A function. The Q&A function does allow you to remain anonymous. So if that's important to you, you can do that. Now, I think that's about it from me. Oh, and there was a question before we started about 101, if you wanted to find it. If you're on platforms, on the streaming platforms, you'll find it. Just scroll down and look for it down there. If you're with us on Zoom, you can find it a couple of ways on the main dashboard of the website. Go to the In Case You Missed It section and then scroll down until you find it. Or the website has a search feature now. So woohoo, because we were all like, why is we needed this search feature for a while, eh? You can just type in Facebook Marketing 101 and it should pop up a whole bunch of videos that are pertaining to Facebook, and it'll be included in that. Newman, welcome back. We are excited.
Hey, good morning. How's it going, everyone? Quite excited to be here today as well. Thank you, Anna Marie.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Look, this was brought by popular demand, and we love that. When you guys tell us what kind of content you're looking for, it's really helpful because then I can go out and find it for you. So do always drop that into support@digitalboost.co.nz. I want to know what you're looking for and we will get it for you. I'm sure you want to get started, and I know there's going to be a lot of questions. So I'm going to stop my video and let you drive, and I will go make sure everything's working in the background.
Cool, awesome. Thank you, Anna Marie, for the opportunity to share Facebook 102 today. Like as Anna Marie said, last session we talked a lot about Facebook 101. There's been quite a bit of demand and questions keep coming through. So we decided to have Facebook 102, and we'll see how today goes. It could be Facebook 103, 104. You know,
Yeah.
we'll yeah.
Hey, look, I'm open. Okay, I'll stop my video and let you take over.
Cool, awesome, thank you. Okay, I'll just share my screen and I'll present.
Yep, looks good.
Yeah, awesome, thank you. So a little bit about myself, and I've mentioned this last time as well, but I know there'll be a few more new people joining us today. So hi everyone, kia ora, kia ora, I'm Newman Thomas. I have worked in IT for over 14 years in the digital space. About 2-3 years ago, myself and my wife, we decided to build our own business. And the reason for that is we have family members that came up to me and said, Newman, I need help with my website. I know you're quite technical. Can you help me? So I went in, give them a help, and then they offered some free food. And I thought to myself, I can actually do this as a business. You know, after 14 years working straight in IT, I thought I can do this. So as I was building websites for those clients, I started getting customers in New Zealand, Australia, and also America. I've got over 50 clients, and basically in the last 2 years, those same people came back to me and said, Newman, can you help me take my website to the next level? Can you help me with Facebook marketing, SEO, Google Ads? So we moved our business into that, and then so Stealth Digital, our vision or our goal is to help and to move your business forward in the digital space. We create websites from scratch. We also update or support our clients' websites. So people build websites on our hosting. They call us up and say, Newman, I need help. So we provide that support as well. Also, we fix other clients' websites. So you might be hosted on GoDaddy or First Domain or Crazy Domains, whatever. Around New Zealand, Australia, and America, you can call me up and say, Newman, I need help to fix the problem on my website. Doesn't matter what CMS you use, I can fix those because it's quite technical. We do domain management. We host a lot of our websites mainly in New Zealand. If your website is in New Zealand, we will host it in New Zealand. If it's in Australia, we'll host it in Australia and also in the United States. We do SEO as well. Talk about that another time. We do digital marketing services, Google Ads, but today we will look at marketing or Facebook marketing. If you want to learn more about us, go to stuffdigital.co.nz. So Facebook Marketing 102, today we only have about 9 slides. And last time Facebook Marketing 101, we had something like 15 or 16 slides. And because that's a general basic overview, today I decided that I'm going to delve deep into one thing only, and one thing, which is pixels. What is Facebook pixels? So our agenda today is I will touch base a little bit about Facebook marketing, and I'll look at the strategy side of things. And then we're going to look at Facebook pixels and what is Facebook pixel and the relationship of Facebook pixels to websites. We will look at a website landing page. We will look at a WordPress plugin that connects the pixels and the website. And then we will create an ad with pixel. Okay. So before proceeding with Facebook Marketing 101, we talk about setting up a marketing strategy. If you haven't looked at that video, please look at that video, because we went through the whole process of breaking down how you're going to have a marketing strategy before you create an ad. Without that marketing strategy, you're going to create an ad that will not bring in the best results. So highly recommend watch that video. So with a marketing strategy, there's really 4 main things. You want to set a goal. For the purpose of today's training, we want to receive website inquiries. We want to set a target audience. Our target audience is accountants and bookkeepers. We want to set a budget as well, which is $400 a month. And we want to set a location to New Zealand wide. So in Facebook Marketing 101, the ad I created for that one was the same marketing strategy, but we focused on Hamilton. But for this particular case, I want to focus around New Zealand, because I know there's people around. It could be in Wellington or Dunedin. They want to see how those ads will work. Now, the other thing to consider before we proceed is you also need a website plan. Okay, it's probably a good idea to have a website before you run Facebook marketing, because the idea about Facebook marketing is to drive inquiries to your website, to make phone calls to people to make a call to you. So with the website page, I have already created this, and I'll show this in a minute, and I'm going to talk through that process. This one particular website page, it will have an inquiries form, because that's my goal. I want to receive website inquiries. So that's the marketing strategy. I want people to land on my website and send me inquiries on this page. So on the website plan, you should have the inquiries form. Also, you should also have on that website page the details about the offer. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Now, I want to spend a bit of time on this one, because this is quite important. The information or the content you have on your Facebook ad should be the same content you have on your website. And let me give you guys an example. So if you are on your Facebook ad, if you say 20% off means shoes, and when people click on that ad, when they land on your website, you should also include on your website that says 20% off means shoes. You shouldn't say 30% off means shoes. And the idea is you want the content on your Facebook ad and the content on your landing page or your website to match exactly the same. Otherwise, it's quite misleading. People say, on your ad, it says 20%, on your website, it says 30%, which is and because of that inconsistencies, people will leave your website, and that's the last thing you want to do. They click on your ad, which means Facebook has taken money from that ad. They've landed on your page and go, inconsistency, I don't want to be here, I want to go. We will design the strategy as well. So in Facebook Marketing 101, I talk about a one-liner strategy for Facebook marketing. In this case, our one-liner strategy is to promote stealth digital website design businesses to accountants, bookkeeper in New Zealand with a $400 budget for 1 month, both male and female and age 21 plus. And I know Anna-Marie talked about this last time as well. It's very important to be quite specific to a specific niche so that people that are accountants in this case will click on the ad. The content on that website, we want to add a bit more information to it. So the way I had thought of this particular ad is that I want to give clients that are accountants or bookkeepers around New Zealand to try out WordPress for free. And the idea is we as Stealth Digital will set up everything for you and provide all the logins. All you have to do is only just give us your web address and your domain. And after 3 months of trying out websites and stuff like that, there is no obligation to go with Stealth Digital. Stealth Digital will also provide training videos to help you help clients build their website. So I need to include the content on the website on the actual landing page because there's a few things going on here. Now, the process. We want a Facebook ad. We want so in Facebook Marketing 101, we create a Facebook ad. The Facebook ad, it's called a lead generator. It generates leads. So you got Google ads, you got Facebook ads, you got directories, you got a lot of people to drive traffic to your website or for someone to make a call. So that's the idea of Facebook ad, is to drive someone to a page. I'm going to call it a landing page for now. And the idea is once they're on that landing page, I want them to send an inquiry form to me. And the whole idea of the Facebook pixel, and I'll talk about that in a minute, is the Facebook pixel will track the flow of that process from the Facebook ad to the landing page and the inquiries. So this is the important part. This is where pixels come in. That it's a code that ties all these things together. It ties your ad to your landing page and to your inquiries. So what is Facebook Pixel? Facebook Pixel is a piece of code you can embed in your website in one or more locations. It could be on the home page, it could be on the contact us page, it could be on your cart page. It doesn't matter. You can embed it anywhere in your website. You don't need to be a coder, and I'll show you guys how easy it is to set up Facebook Pixel to understand and work with Facebook. You don't need to understand any coding at all. Facebook, and in this case, WordPress takes care of all that. Facebook Pixel, they track what we call the conversion rate. So imagine you have, let's say, 100 people that have a look at your ad. Okay, we're running an ad. 100 people, they look at your ad. Out of that 100 people, let's say 60 people will click on the ad, the Facebook ad. They click on that ad. When they click on the ad, they come to this landing page. Okay, so we have 60 people that come on the landing page. There could be many, many reasons why people would not do what I want them to do, which is send in inquiries. There would be a reason. It could be the power turned off, run out of the Wi-Fi data ran out, the internet ran out, or the landing page doesn't look professional, doesn't look clean, and the inconsistency between the Facebook ad and the content on the page, it doesn't look that consistent. People will say, it says 20% here, but it's saying 30% here. I'm just gonna go. It doesn't make sense. So the idea of the pixel is to track the flow. Basically, you hold your potential client's hands from the moment they click on your ad to make a conversion. A conversion is they made a phone call, they send you an inquiry, they made a purchase on your website, and so forth and so forth. The other thing about Pixel is you can create multiple ads. So last time, Facebook 101, we only created one ad, which is for website visits. Today, I can say to you, you can have multiple ads and multiple pixels to monitor people to your website and things like that. The other good thing about Facebook Pixel is what we call remarketing. Now, remarketing is, I don't know if you've noticed this. So for example, if you go to a website called New Zealand Herald. If before you went to the New Zealand Herald page, you have Googled words like wedding dresses or website developments or shoes for boys, whatever. When you go to sites like New Zealand Herald, the ads will be tailored to your search. So whatever you searched before, you will see these on New Zealand Herald on a lot of pages as well, like stuff and things like that. So remarketing is quite important, where someone has searched for your business, have landed on your page. So in this case, Stealth Digital, have been to Stealth Digital. They've looked through my products and for some unknown reason, they've left. What I want to do is to remarket that service back to them. And the chances are people go, I forgot to pay for this service. And then they click on that remarketing ad and go pay. Now, pixels and cookies are quite different. Cookies, they are just on your browser, and pixels are on your website. Okay. I just want to make that absolutely clear. Now, we've only got, I think maybe 2-3 more slides to go, and then we'll go through setting up pixels from scratch. How the pixels are triggered, they are triggered by website visits, searching on your website, add to cart, initiate checkout, payments information, make a purchase, or complete a registration form. So if you are selling products on your website and you want to see which of out of your 10 products, which are the top 3 high performing products, you can use pixels to keep track of that. There's other, okay, I want to make a caveat here. There are other tools as well that you can install on your website that will provide this information here. Tools like Google Analytics. Google Analytics will provide all the information as well. What Pixel is different, it is around tracking from the Facebook ad onto your website and what you want to do. Now, throughout today, we're going to do about 3 or 4 things. I have already created a landing page to receive inquiries, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. And then we will go and create the Facebook pixels, and then we're going to add Facebook pixels to the website using plugin on app, and then we're going to create an ad to drive people to the new page. So basically, we're going to do 4 things. But to save us time, I've already created the landing page. This is the page I want people to land on once they've clicked the ad. So if I go back to that, sorry, I just go back to that process. So this is the process here. This is, if it's one thing, just remember this process here. We want to create a Facebook ad that will go on a landing page, and I want people to send us inquiries. So those are the 4 things. So before I proceed, I'm just going to cancel that, and I will show you the page I have created. So this is the, I'm sharing my screen. So this is the landing page. So essentially, it's not the home page. It's under stealthdigital.co.nz, and there's another page called 3-months-free-trial. So maybe later on, I'll put this into the chat. But essentially what I want to do is once people click on that Facebook ad, I want people to land on this. This is what I call the landing page. And on this landing page, what I've done is I've made sure the title is quite clear. So if you guys remember, whatever information I have in the ad, if it says try WordPress free for 3 months, the landing page where they land, I want to make sure it is consistent, you know. And also, maybe I'll make the font a little bit bigger on the website. And I talk a little bit about so stressed and nervous about getting started on your website that you're seriously consider giving it up before you even start. So the whole idea with this is I want people to send me inquiries if they want to try out WordPress for 3 months for free, no obligation. And what you need to do is you follow the easy instructions from our video. I'll send you a video on how to set up WordPress, or you can follow YouTube video instructions. What happens after the 3 months is up? What's next? No obligation to continue with our services. If you want to continue, we negotiate the terms and packages. So what I want really is for people to land on this page. The conversion is when they fill in their name, their email, their phone number, their website address or domain names, because I want to target people that has already have a domain name, and also a message, please help me or whatever they mean. When they submit to me, that is a conversion. So I can call them up and say, let's start on the service. Okay. So now this is the final slide, and basically for the rest of the next 20 odd minutes, 25 minutes, I'm going to show you all how to create Facebook pixel. Now, the first thing you need to do is go to the business.facebook.com. So some of you might need to register. Some of you might already have the business Facebook page, but this is where you create the pixels to track everything here. Now, from the Facebook Business Suite, once you've logged in,
could you make that just a bit bigger?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, is that better? Okay, yeah. And from the Facebook business page, you go to settings, and you can go to more business settings because we want to look at Facebook pixels from there. Now, once you're in here, because we are really short for time, I'm just going to go through the process. You guys can always go back and watch this video. Under data sources, there's pixels right here. So what I've done is I have created lots of test pixels. This is my test account. This is not my actual account, just for testing purposes and to prepare for today's session as well. So you have this Facebook pixel. I just call it 6 p.m. test, 9th of September 2021. But one thing you really need to do as well is make sure the title or the description of that pixel makes sense, because you're going to have multiple pixels here. So one of the pixels I created is called Track WordPress 3-month free trial. So you need to be quite descriptive as well. So what I'll do is we're going to add that pixel now. You can see there's a big blue button at the top here, says add. We're going to go add this pixel here. This is the pixel name, so this is where it shows up here. So you have to be quite descriptive and make sure it makes sense. So I can say track accountants bookkeepers inquiries. Yep, that's what I want to do. Make it quite that descriptive, so you can always remember you can have multiple pixels, you can have multiple ads. Make sure you understand, so you can always go back to this pixel. Now, the next part below that is check your website for easy setup options. So what you can do is instead of going to the website, I want to track this particular page. Okay. It's because, and the reason for that is a lot of people, they want to track their website, which is let's say stealthdigital.co.nz. They want people to land on stealthdigital.co.nz and then go to the page where they have the actual inquiries. But over the years, I've learned by experience, you want people to actually land on the landing page where you want. So I want people, when they click on the ad, they don't land on this homepage, they land on this inquiries or landing page. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to copy this website URL and I'm going to put it here. And the next step is to click continue. So what we're doing is we're setting up pixels. or Facebook pixels. Now this comes up. We don't want to continue managing my business. We want to set up a pixel now. Now, what has done is Facebook has gone to that website and go, oh, your website is built in WordPress. So some of you, when you do this, this part might come up as Shopify or Wix or Weebly, whatever. But Facebook has identified the website I've built for stealthdigital.co.nz is in WordPress. So what you need to do is use a partner account to set up Pixel. What you're doing here is really you're connecting Facebook to your website, which in this case is built in WordPress. So I'll click WordPress and I'll select Set Up Partner. So what I'm doing here, I'm just connecting the two together, WordPress and Facebook. And now it gives me instructions to download an app or plugin in WordPress so that the two can work together. So it says you need to log into WordPress now and go plugins, add new from the drop-down menu. Now I'm gonna jump from Facebook to WordPress and show you how to do that. So it says go to plugins. So right now I am in Stealth Digital as an administrator within WordPress. I go plugins and instruction says add new. And search and choose Facebook for WordPress. So there is an app or a plugin that will help connect Facebook and WordPress together, called Facebook for WordPress. And the instruction says select install now and select activate. So I'll go install now. So this is the one, this is the app. So Facebook, there's lots of apps out there that will help, but we're after this particular app. We go Facebook for WordPress. We're installing this app, this plugin now, and it says the next step is to activate this app. So what we're doing here is we're adding a app or plugin that will communicate between Facebook and WordPress where the landing page is. Okay. Now what this instruction says. So okay, click next. And that's the other good thing about Facebook as well, is setting up the pixel. It's quite user-friendly. You can follow through the steps. So it says select settings and choose Facebook from the drop-down menu. So I go to settings and select Facebook. Yep. So this shows up now. Next step is to go get started. Select get started, which is right here. Now we're trying to connect the two together now, and it's and the instruction says and just follow through the instructions. So basically we go back here and we're gonna follow through the instructions of setting that up. Okay, so get started. So you previously linked WordPress app to Facebook. Would you like to continue with your previous settings? So I want to connect this WordPress to my Facebook account. So I'm going to continue as Newman Thomas, saying, do you want to connect WordPress app to Facebook? This is so the whole idea of what we're doing here is to ensure there is security and trust between Facebook and this particular app. Okay, we want to confirm the settings. So this is the WordPress and this is the Facebook account. Business manager. As you guys can see, I have multiple accounts for various reasons. And the ad account is Stealth Digital. Yep, that's the correct one. So now this is where, this is quite important. This step is quite important. Is this is where we link to the pixel. So if you all remember, we created, keeps doing that when I think I might quickly go through that process again. It's when I move the window, it clicks off for some unknown reason. So I'll just quickly go through this. Continue as Newman Thomas, continue. That's correct. That's correct. Now the Facebook pixel, we have created one just before, which is track accountant bookkeepers inquiries. We want to check that pixel, because you can have multiple pixels in this case, but in this particular case, I want to check that one and go continue. That's correct. That's correct. Some matching going on. That's correct, and go continue. What is WordPress app allowed to do? So you're giving permission now for WordPress app to connect the two together. Okay, they can manage the ads, manage your business, and manage your business extensions. Yep, I want to do that. Now, what's happening here is WordPress app and Facebook are trying to talk to each other. And fingers crossed, yep, you're set. So now there is a connection between Facebook and this WordPress site. Now, all I have to do is actually one more thing on the website, which is I want to say I trust this and go confirm. Okay, so that's all we need to do on the website. Now, what we need to do is go back to here. This is where we were creating the pixel. So now the pixel on Facebook and the website are talking to each other. We will just continue the setup. Now we want to verify that the connection between Facebook and WordPress works. And to do that, we need to add in just a website URL. And we go send a test traffic. So what's happening here is Facebook now is making the connection back to WordPress. Okay, so the website is coming up and we wait, and now it is active. I'm going to go next. Okay, now, and the next part is events. At the moment, I'm not going to do events. That's probably a discussion for another time. And go finish. Okay. Now that we've added our pixel, this is all you have to do. Now the next thing is really you need to refresh this page. So as you can see, there's a red thing here. You need to refresh this again. Now it is green. So now it is active. So what I can also show you all here is the other test pixels that I have created. So if you go here, these are the different pixels, and these are the different events. So basically, I've set it up where when people click on that page, it will give me the information about that. So in the last 19 hours, there were 2 people that have gone on a page. Here's another example of the pixel that's been set up. So what I'll do is I'm gonna quickly change this to Stealth Digital. Yeah, you can then see, the different pixels, how many people have been on your website, how many people have viewed that content. So this is a page view. These are the different events. This is 6 p.m. test. This is a lead as well. So that's really the idea is you can see the total events in the last 16 hours. There were 11 page views. So that's why it's quite important to set up pixel so it provides this information here. Here's another pixel for another testing purposes. So this is probably more useful because you can see there's some activity happening. There is a page view that's been set up. There is a lead, view content, and microdata. So what this is I've created a pixel where when someone lands on that page, I want to know about it. So in this case, there was something, someone has landed on the page I want to track. And in the last 14 hours, they've landed 7 times. You know, this information is quite important. Leads as well, there were 3 inquiries that has come through. 3 people has viewed some content. So that's really the idea. Now, this is the one we have just created. Now, the one of the issue problem with Facebook is it takes about an hour for the actual event to start showing up here automatically. So so we'll have to, you know, go back to this later on if we have time and see that that has been triggered. Now, we've done all the setting now. Now the next step is when I go back to our slides is now we need to create an ad. So if I go back to the process, we want the Facebook ad, which I'm going to create now, which I've showed in Facebook 101, but we did not link a pixel on the Facebook ad. I have showed you guys the landing page, which is this one here. And what I want people to do is to fill this form in and go submit. And I have a pixel on this page to track everything. Now, let's create an ad. Now, last time I went into Canva, I showed you guys how to create, you know, some nice looking ads in there, some design. But what I'm going to do now is I've already designed the ad. What we do is we're going to go directly now in Facebook and create that ad again. So let's go to Facebook. And let's go under Stealth Digital. I want to, the content for this is on my desktop. I'm sorry, I'm just going to quickly copy the content across. So I've got, I'm going to create a post. And this is the content I have. This will just save us a lot of time. And then the photo is this photo here. Okay. So this is a very similar photo we used last time to do the ad, but I've changed it a little bit for specifically for today. Customize. I'm just gonna make sure this looks. So, are you an accountant? We are creating the ad now, or bookkeeper and want to try out WordPress or website builder free for 3 months? Stealth Digital will set up everything and send you the logins to WordPress. All you have to do is follow a 30-minute video to customize the website. This is a one-time offer. And this is the image I've already created, so that saves us a lot of time. Now what I want to do is make a post first. Okay, I don't want that one. Now that we've done the post, now we want to boost that post now. Okay. So very similar to Facebook 101 with a slight difference. Our goal is we want people to go to that landing page, which is this one here. Okay. I don't want them to go to stealthdigital.co.nz. I want them to go to this landing page. I want them to go to get more visitors. Okay, go save. Now I'm going to change the website URL to this one. And I'm going to change this to sign up. Okay. Let's look at the special ad category. I talked about audience already last week, so I'm not going to go into detail about the audience, but I've already created the audience here, which was, if you go back to our marketing strategy, the audience are accountants and bookkeepers in New Zealand with a $400 budget for 1 month, both male and female and so forth. So I've already created that here. They're living in New Zealand, 21 to 45, and so forth. So I'm not going to go into detail about this. Watch our Facebook Marketing 101 to give you more information on that. We want to run the ad for 1 month, I believe. So go 30 days. Now our budget is 400. Now I'm actually going to run this ad and for the next few weeks and see how this goes. And now this is quite important. This is where you choose the Facebook pixel. Okay. And the reason for that is, you want when people click on this ad, the pixel triggers. When they go on the landing page, the pixel is collecting information. When they send inquiries, you have information. So that's the pixel. So Facebook 101, we did not choose the pixel because we haven't set up pixel, but in this case, we want to make sure that the pixel is linked from Facebook to our landing page to our inquiries as well. And we're going to go boost the post now. And now, now the ad is in review. So that's pretty much it, because I know there'll be some questions that will come through. So just a summary. We've just created a Facebook ad, and this is the process. Basically, this ad will now show to accountants or bookkeepers around New Zealand. And the idea is once they click on the ad, they will go to a landing page, which is this part here. When they click on the ad, it lands over here. And then once they've landed here, we want them to send us an inquiry. And I'll go back to the slide and then send us inquiries. So once I get the inquiries, then I can start calling them up and say, do you want to give it a go? Or what's your domain name? So forth, so forth. So I'm going to stop sharing. So that's the quick session for today. I just thought I'll delve deeper into Facebook pixels.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, because I know there's quite a few to cover as well, but instead of confusing everyone, just thought I'll get deep into pixels, make people fully understand that. Whatever the questions come through, and then we can go from there. All right,
We've got some already. We've got some already. And I just wanted to say, you did talk about the difference between cookies and pixels. And if you wanted to learn a little bit more about cookies, and if you don't get the emails that we send out on a weekly basis, because it was one of our top 5 that went out last Thursday, there was a session that we did called the Cookie Apocalypse. And it'll kind of explain to you what cookies are and like how things are changing with cookies now that we're in September. So first question here is, I note that the Facebook plugin is untested with your version of WordPress. Also, it is rating of 2.5 stars out of 5. Why would I want to use that one?
Okay, that's a good question. So I didn't mention that because the Facebook instructions said to us to use that particular plugin, and it's the only one that has the instructions to set up. Now, customers are right. That question is quite right. When it comes to WordPress plugins, you need a 5-star, 4.9 stars, a plugin that's been updated, last week, last month, that's regularly reviewed, 5-star and stuff like that. Now, just for the purpose of this training, we use that one just because that is the plugin that has the instructions on how to set up.
So the next time you did it, you could use a different plugin or something once you figure out how to use it a little bit better.
Yeah, exactly. But that plugin will have different ways of setting it up. Maybe you need to connect to your business account and stuff like that. But it's the reason why I use that one.
Okay, that makes sense. Cool. Okay, another question. Are the landing pages hidden behind the scenes on the website?
Okay. In this case, I have hidden it. And the reason for that is I'm going to create multiple ads to this landing page. And the second reason is this special or this discount is only for people I'm going to tell to. So in this case, for Digital Boost, you are aware of it. I'm also going to let this special known to one other business called Rebel Business School. You know, I don't want to get inundated with requests coming through, and
Right.
you know, and yeah, and that's the reason why it's not directly on the website. So it's kind of hidden. You can't find it in the menu, and that's the reason why. It's because I want to offer this, you know, special to a specific group of people, so that you know, I can manage all the requests or the inquiries that will come through.
That's a great strategy. That's a really good point. Like you don't have to make everything available to everyone. And I guess it would be like almost a good way to test, wouldn't it? Because you would see who's actually come from where, and you know what markets it worked well with and what markets it didn't work well with.
And I guess the other reason is it will mess up my pixel numbers, because I'll have someone, let's say from Australia, for some unknown reason, they land on my website, they go, oh, 3-month special, there's a button there, they click on it, and they go on my landing page. So that information is not captured in the Facebook ad. So that's why I want to keep the, you know, those things separate. So that particular page, it will be driven by the ads, and also you know, by people that would just go on their page now.
Cool. Okay, next question. Do we need to set up pixels for each statistic or action for our campaign, like bounce, abandon cart, subscribe to newsletter? I thought this information was captured in the Facebook stats that they gave you, or is it a pixel, or is the pixel more in depth?
Yeah.
You got that?
What I'm showing here, is the how the pixels are triggered or set up. So is this big enough, Anna Marie?
If you could make it a little bit bigger, that would be great.
I'm not sure if I can make this a little bit bigger.
If you could,
maybe I'll just increase the font size.
Oh yeah, cool. That'd be great. Thanks.
Okay, so the pixels, they are triggered when there are website visits, searching on the website, adding to cart, initiating checkout. So if you have an online store and you want to know, out of it, like what I mentioned before, out of your 10 products, which are your top 3 performing products, you can create pixels on that. You can create pixels on the landing page. A lot of people do that. They go, I want to know how many people are going to my front page. That's it. But to me, that doesn't really provide a lot of information. People will go to your landing page. What you really want to do is, it's like, maybe it's a sales funnel. Now, I don't want to throw that term out there, but essentially a sales funnel is someone goes to your Facebook ad, they click on the ad, they come to your landing page, and from your landing page, you want to grab their hand and say, go to my cart. You know, from your cart, out of my 10 products, pick one. They pick one, they go check out and pay. So essentially, what the pixels will do is actually track customers from the moment they click the ad to the landing page, to the cart, to the checkout, to the payment, to the thank you page. And you want to see, okay, out of 100 people that have come to your website, let's say 50 people landed on your cart. They click, you know, they click the cart, the shop page, went to the cart. So out of the 50 people, pixels will tell you all this information. Out of the 50 people that has landed on your shop page, let's say there's 10 products, you know, let's say 10 of them click on your number 1 product. Out of that 10, they went to the checkout page. The people look at the checkout page, go, it doesn't have the payment gateway that I want, and they leave. So out of the 10 people, maybe 2 people click purchase, and then they go to PayPal and make a payment. So really the idea with the pixel is says, okay, you have page views. You have 100 people that landed on your homepage. That's 100 page views in that period of time, whatever that is. You have 50 page views on your shop page. You have 10 page view on your checkout page, and things like that. So that's very useful information. And I want to add one more thing. The other good thing about Pixel is because we are spending money, we want to make sure that we get the best return on our investment on that money. So if I spend $400 on this ad I've just created, I want to make more than $400, you know, after the ad has run, and Pixels will provide the information where the bottleneck is. Maybe my shop page looks, you know, doesn't look that nice, or there's missing photos, missing information, and people will leave. The pixels will tell you which page people are having problems on your website.
Now there's kind of a follow-up question to that, which is, can you have multiple pixels per ad?
Yes.
Cool. That was easy. Okay. How can we do this for Magento or Magento, sorry, websites?
Okay, so Magento is an e-commerce website. I haven't really built it. I know it's there. What you can do is have a look with Magento if they use Facebook pixels as a app for there. Otherwise, I think that's the other thing I talk about with my very first session around WordPress is there are other CMS system out there you can use to build websites like Weebly, Wix, Magento, and all those things, and WordPress. Some of those like Weebly and stuff will have limitations, and this is probably going to be a limitation as well. And it's because there isn't a lot of support. That's why for me, WordPress is the way to go because there's a lot of support. You can integrate with Facebook and so forth and so forth. So yeah, maybe go to Magento and see if there is a Facebook Pixel app or plugin. I
Like
doubt,
a plugin, right?
I doubt there is one, but if there is one, when you set up the Pixel, when I showed before, when you set up the Pixel, when you go to the website, say what is the website, the partner information will come up. So in this case, for me, it came up as WordPress. If you have Magento, if your website is built in Magento, then it will show up as Magento. If it's built in Wix, it will show up as Wix.
Okay. Yeah, and I know, we talked about WordPress, like we did a little WordPress session actually, and WordPress is an interesting beast, isn't it? Because it's got so many features, but you do need somebody to host your website because it's not like Shopify where you just like set it up and then, but the cool thing about WordPress is that you own it forever. Like it's a little bit more complicated I'd say like once you get familiar with it, it's not, but I've got like, it's a little bit, you can do so much with it that you can't, you can kind of create some errors here and there. So you kind of maybe want some help, like getting it put together. But it's one of the only systems that you actually own your website, no matter what, like, isn't that right? Okay. So question here, are pixels relevant to other platforms like Messenger, Insta, and so forth?
So for Instagram and Messenger, that's on the ads side of things. Not that I'm aware of that pixels will track, people clicking on Messenger and sending you messages. I'm not aware of that. What I'm aware of is pixels are good in tracking mainly website activities. So adding to cart, checkout, and stuff like that. So anything outside of that, I'm not aware of pixels tracking Messenger and Instagram and things like that.
And you know what, actually, just on that question, next week, we are going to be doing an in-depth talk. It's either on Thursday. I'm just going to double check what day it is. I was just having a look at the schedule. So, sorry. We are going to do another talk with Josh from EasyBots. And he's going to be talking about diving a little bit deeper into messenger marketing. And you could probably get your question answered by him because he will, this is what he specializes in. It's on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think it's on Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. So check into that session and he should be able to get that question answered there. Yeah. Okay. So, there's Newman. Okay. Cool. Let me check all the platforms. I'll just double check. Sorry, I tried to integrate this into the Zoom, but it doesn't let me integrate the chats with this feature. So I have to jump back and forth. No, we're all good. Okay. Our questions have been answered. Fantastic.
Cool.
All right, cool. So thank you so much. Oh, wait, hold on. Such a good tool that I knew nothing about. Fantastic information. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
And it would also it'd be cool also to use a bit of Hotjar, wouldn't it, as well, to see, like, that's totally different. It has nothing to do with ads or anything. But if you want to see where people are kind of moving on your website, one person came on and they were this expert and they were saying that sometimes they just sit there with a glass of wine or a cup of tea and just watch people on their website with Hotjar. So that's a different tool, which just allows you to see where people are navigating on your website. And it can highlight some holes that you may have. So it's not pertaining to ads. It's just like pertaining to how people interact with your user experience, I guess, with your website. So you might see that people go, oh, they're like clicking into the shop, but then they get to the like, then they don't click through. Why don't they click through? And it can raise some questions, just a little bit more information on Hotjar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I agree as well, because having the analytics, there's a lot of way of collecting data in which page people are having a bottleneck on. In this case, we use Pixel. Pixel is just more around the Facebook side of things. You can have Google Analytics for WordPress and all those things. You can collect, or Monster Insights is another tool that collects a lot of those information. It's more when you own a website, you want to be well informed of the pages that people are getting stuck on. You want to be well informed of where your money is going to. If you want to, like I said, if you want to spend money, you want to make sure there is no bottleneck. When someone lands on your website, you want to make sure that they purchase. Otherwise, there's something called click-through rate as well. As more people go from your homepage to your shop page to your cart to checkout, but you want them to click through that to the point where they make a purchase, because at the end of the day, your goal is for them to pick up the phone, give you a call, send you an inquiries, make a purchase. And Pixel is one of those tools that will help. Okay, so you have 500 people that landed on your page. How many people made a purchase? Was there only one person? So you say, okay, that's a 2% click-through rate. That's quite low. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe it's my cart page that's not performing well. Maybe my website is not loading fast, because that's another reason. One more thing, Anamari, if you don't mind, I'm just going to touch bases. And I mentioned this before. One problem, and I've seen with a lot of my customers when I start doing this for them, is the content on their website does not match the ad. This is very, very important. And because, to them, they just create a website page, and 6 months later, they want to run an ad for that page. And people land on their page and go, this information is out of date. The Rugby World Cup special is not there anymore, the rugby and stuff like that. So that's one thing I just want to point out to everyone. And I hope everyone has learned a lot today, and quite happy to be here.
Cool. Oh, Newman, thanks so much for joining us again today. I always love how you do a real proper walkthrough, because a lot of times, we learn a lot of stuff, but we don't see somebody actually do it. And I know for some of us, that's the best way for us to learn. So I do love that you do that for us. So thanks everyone for this great week of sessions. We've had some awesome sessions this week, and we've got killer sessions next week. Check out the lineup on the Digital Boost website, digitalboost.co.nz. I'll see you guys on Monday. Hopefully you'll be joining me on Monday. And yeah, we're just going to say ka kite and have a wonderful weekend. Thanks.